Magoo, you've done it again.
Hey, good morning from the dojo. It's Mike Magoo. You know, it's funny. I was realizing it's like we're so afraid of change, and it happens anyway. So I don't know why we fight it and we fight it and we fight it. And right now, I am in a period of really exciting change. Like I feel really interesting, good, exciting things coming because I don't pay attention to politics anymore. I'm just in my own little bubble of entrepreneurial stuff and trying to kind of like at this point later in the last quarter of life, the fourth quarter, I'm trying to like, not live into a future that never comes out the way I want it to anyway. And I'm trying to just live in a present that could be perfectly fine if I just, listen to myself and not others. So I spent so much time living in places I didn't want to be, doing things I didn't want to do, trying to do the next right thing, doing what I'm supposed to do, all this and that. And right now, I have nothing to show for it, really. I have a great family, everything's cool. I don't mean that trappings, but I don't have like a lot of money. I don't have a house. I don't have this, that, and the other thing. But I said in the other video that you can watch, but it's really long. I gave the whole story about how I went from the suburban house with all the taxes and the trappings and this and that and loads of debt and misery to now for 50 grand I'm in 2 separate mobile homes in beautiful parts of the country, and I'm going to start snowbirding. And most of it I discovered through YouTube and just through my own pluck and application, because I don't believe in this plans made last year are already wonked. They came out, and if you think of what you thought of last year compared to the end of the year, it's like how many things changed, how much of your plan didn't come to fruition. And that's when you work regular hours, have a regular job, regular family, regular house, you're in domestic bliss like I was, and nothing changes. And you can go through 20 years where you think nothing changes, and yet within each of those years, nothing came out exactly as you planned. The vacations didn't happen the way you planned, the investments didn't happen the way you planned, the jobs didn't happen the way you planned, the kid doing certain things didn't happen the way you planned. He was supposed to do this, he quit this, went and did this, wanted to do this, his friend did this, they did this. Everything kind of gets morphed and tweaked, and people start looking for, you get angry because you get kind of trapped and you don't really know it. You just start getting mired in this kind of quicksand and then go, why don't I have a life that I enjoy? And because it's not your life. So now I'm a college kid, I'm living in the woods, I'm freezing my bag off, I'm doing my side hustles, making money. The state has me in this spot where they think I'm poorer than I actually am, so they treat me nicely. Very weird. Before, when they thought I had way more money than I did, I don't know. Now they think I have less than I do, which is way better than when they thought I had more than I do, and they taxed me up the wazoo. $16,000 a year on an 80 by 100 lot with a cheap piece of shit house built for returning GIs. 650 grand at $16,000 taxes. So it wasn't like I was planning Disney every year, even though I bought a timeshare. I tried. I kept this mental vision of going places and doing things. And I'm a hot weather guy. My family is not. And that was a problem. So even if we wanted to go somewhere, our schedules didn't mesh. And then we didn't want to go to the same places. Well, my wife wanted to go to Italy, and my son wanted to go nowhere, and I wanted to go somewhere warm, to a resort where I could put my toes in the sand and go on the beach. My wife hates to be, my ex hates the beach. So, we still joke about it because we're friends, but it's like, so I'm here, and I just said, look, in this short period of time where I have this freedom and I'm doing my own thing and I'm really feeling comfortable in my own skin, and I really don't give a crap what anyone else says about anything, how do I fulfill my needs? What do I need? And I go, I need a safe place for me and the dogs to live that's cheap so that I can be an artist and pursue my side hustles and look how I want to look and dress how I want to dress without the hassle of having to get jobs that make me want to hang myself or commit PTSD, or have PTSD or create depression, whatever. I don't want to work for anyone else anymore. I'm not going to. I'm not fit. I'm not capable. I'm not taking any shit from them. They would have to pay me up the wazoo, and I'd have to like it. And the chances of that, well, it hasn't happened in 59 and a half years. I don't think it's going to happen in year 60, but it'll happen when I get out of the way. When I start getting, when I tell people I'm going to do this, that, and the other thing, it's like, you can't do, why? You couldn't do this. So they said, keep your plans to yourself. I learned that on YouTube, So mostly I'm keeping it to myself, except I share it on YouTube and with a couple of friends. The ones who have to sign off as references, I tell them so they'll get a heads up. So I'm feeling really great. I just bought, I got this place in the woods here. The dogs are fine. It's comfy. I'm right by a lake. I'm right by a river. It's a mobile home, but it's 3 bedroom, 2 bath with jacuzzi and working fireplace and the whole thing. It's great, and it's dirt cheap. And like I said before, it's kind of in a trailer park, but like no trailer park I've ever seen before, because it's in a little tiny hidden lake community. I own this mobile home, so I'm a member of the Lake Association. And there's $1 million lake homes. I go to the meeting. But it's just, you find these things. I got lucky. I did a ton of research. I was up at 4 a.m. looking at Google Maps and looking at Google Earth and driving my little cursor through the streets and finding drone footage on YouTube and finding drive-bys on YouTube and looking at old, polar plunges and farmers markets or whatever from 20 years ago in the area, just to get a vibe before I could go up there from many miles away. I can't go back and forth. I have the dogs. So I need to do 90% of this research online. And I like to. Honestly, if I buy a car now, it's like, who wants to go to a dealership, waste all that time? I could do 90% of the I dotting and T crossing before I ever have to walk in the door. And especially if you can play the internet these days. And wait till AI comes. You can just tell AI it'll create you a dossier on the whole town, the park, the place, the house, the history, whatever you want. I mean, it's so easy to put these things together. Now, I may have just thought of a side hustle, putting together like real estate dossiers using AI for agents or whoever. I mean, it's a wild west of money and ideas to make out there. This video, I don't get monetized. Maybe one day I will, but if I wanted to put on a suit and tie and talk specifically about real estate and purchasing and municipal procurement and this and that and how to make $1 million on YouTube and beaches where the water is 112 degrees, nonsense. But if you repeat that stuff consistently, you build a following, make some money. Me, I just want to be a punk rocker on YouTube and make no money, like I was a punk rocker in music and made no money. Clawed my way to the middle, as Robin Williams said, and worked my way down. That's always been the quote we like to use. So all I know is I have a winter home now. I'm getting ready to obtain this. This is my summer home really, and I'm going to have a winter place in what they call the Winter Texans, down near the Rio Grande Valley, right near Mexico, right near South Padre Island, which is, to the northeasters, everything retirement or spring breaky or summery usually is Florida. So they don't envision anything else. And they don't understand that there's this little Florida and Texas where the Canadians and the Michiganders and the Minnesoters go. And they've been doing all kinds of marketing outreach to the Midwesterners in Iowa and Indiana and all these other places, trying to get them to come down. So they're buying places up. So I just literally bought a place for $9,500, $9,500 in a 55 and up community that is really cool with the dogs, has all the amenities. It's just like a little cheesy resort. There's a lot of park models, there's permanent homes, there's pull-through RV sites, there's smaller RV sites, big, huge open areas, shopping everywhere, just like Florida, same stores, same stuff, slightly different supermarkets. Instead of Publix, there's H-E-B. Instead of one thing, there's Whataburger. It's all the same stuff. It looks very similar. And I'm so excited because I don't need much. I'm low maintenance, but I need, because of my psoriasis and my depression and shit I go through. It hasn't been over 20 degrees in 6 weeks. And I can't really complain because there's people who have it much worse than me. And I'll tell you, those Michiganders and Minnesoters and Canadians, they have worse winters every winter than this and that I do. And it's funny, I'm watching some of the YouTube stuff and you find these old clips when the weather, like they just had the cold snap down there. They're almost over it now. So, some news agency always has to do some feel-good piece or some, social spot. So they go to the 55 and up communities and find these old, the Winter Texans from Michigan and these other places, so they can ask them their educated opinion on how the Floridians should handle this cold snap. They're like, go line dance, go find something to do, bake some cookies, stay busy. Really? But that's the news these days. That's one of the more important things you'll see. So, but I'm watching people, they're playing cards. They got a jam room. They got the shuffleboard, the pickleball, the pool, the hot tub, the exercise crap, dog walk, dog park, dog shower. I'm shopping everywhere. Instacart delivers. They got a Target. I don't even have a Target here. I'm at Walmart. It'd be nice to be back at a Target. I have a feeling I'm going to end up down there eventually, but I'm a New York resident and all my benefits are based on New York, so I want to stay a New York resident, and I like it here. In the summer, this place is amazing. I'm 5 minutes from the Baseball Hall of Fame, colleges, beautiful woods, lakes, Susquehanna River. So I stepped in happy poop because I work hard and I'm not afraid of the future, and I'm not expecting any of my plans 1 year or 2 years in advance to work out the way I plan them. They never do. But I am open to change, and I'm optimistic and exciting. Excited because I don't care about all these outside trappings, what anyone else thinks, politics. I don't care what Trump does today. I don't give a shit what anybody does today. I need some sun. I need an outdoor pool. I found one cheap. I'm getting ready to go, and I'm still gonna own both places. My family can use both. I have them both 12 months. The rents are dirt cheap. It's cheaper than any kind of retirement situation I could think of, and I still can travel from either site. The dogs will be with me. I can get rovers. It's just too, I don't know. I did what was supposed to take me $1 million. I did it with 50 grand, and I'm perfectly content. I don't know that anybody else would be, but that's the beauty of life these days. I really don't have to care. And I'm sharing with anyone on YouTube that, yeah, you could do it. Do a little research. Find those places. I'm 59, 60 years old. I was a rock and roller. I traveled. I toured. I've been all over the country. I did not think of Harlingen, Weslaco, McAllen, Texas. Never entered my mind. I have a friend with a house in Austwell, which is a little bit further north, sort of near Corpus and stuff, and on the coast, a little more like Hurricane Hole, not this like, cheesy retirement village like down there. But that led me to go, well, that's not even really warm enough, and I want to be near Mexico. So I started looking a little further south, and then I started searching Zillow for inexpensive places. And I kept getting these mobile homes in Florida, and then very similar mobile home parks in South Texas. And I was like, but I never even thought of it. All I knew was Florida, or I was thinking Arizona, or then I was looking. And for me, just to let you know, every time I was using ChatGPT and other AI engines to sort of just for goofing around, picking places, I put in a prompt and I had like my top priorities, everything from like cannabis friendly to like prostitution friendly, healthy foods, English speaking, proximity to America, good climate, calm politics, neutral politics. I like just laid out the ideal thing. Almost every time I get Tijuana. So I said to my friend, that's because I was raised by a combination of Cheech and Chong and Bob Marley. So it makes perfect sense that Tijuana would be, I bet I'm sure Kingston, Jamaica is probably in my top 5 too, but what do you know? I would say Negril actually, but it's hard to get to Negril. But I'm goofing around, I'm joking, but I'm saying, I'm gonna get what I want, I'm gonna get what I need. In the middle of February, I'm gonna be in the pool. I've joked many times too, I don't care if it's a little Intex pool, or a bigger Intex pool, or an in-ground pool, or the ocean. I go, if I need to be in some water and sun, and I'm floating with my eyes closed, or just looking up, talking to the good Lord above, or whatever, I don't know what body of water I'm in. If I'm not touching the sides and I'm not looking, I could be in any body of water. I'm just floating. So that's good enough for me. And I can't believe I pulled this off. And then if you watch the other video, it's a very spiritual story of how it came to be and finding the place that I found. It's fully furnished, brand new, renovated, old trailer, yeah, but old park model, but like space around it, nice people, cheap rent, lots of amenities. And he built the place when his dad got sick, because they couldn't retrofit the house for a wheelchair, so he bought this place so his dad can go there. Dad passed away before he could even get in the place. So, and now I've become kind of like friends with this young kid, going like, why are you selling at 55 and up? What's your story? And I told him some of my story. And so it turns out he's taken over that. Dad left him the house. The house has back taxes. He's going to sell this trailer to pay the back taxes. So him, his wife, and his kid are going to move into the house. And he thinks the house is haunted. But that's another story. I'll have to do a follow-up when he tells me more when I talk to him. So, crazy world we live in. All his plans went haywire. All my plans went haywire, and here I am. I got everything I need. He's getting everything he needs. We've become friends. I could be a little surrogate pop. He could be a little surrogate kid. He already told me he's going to show me, take me to Padre Island and show me the secret fishing spots. So I'm like, that's why I'm excited about the future. Secret fishing spots. Ain't nothing bad in that, people. Ain't nothing bad in that at all. So listen, keep your mind open. Keep your spirit fresh. Don't get bogged down in everything. Remember that when change is forced upon you, it's almost like an injury. Like, how do I explain it? Like, sometimes if you're living horribly, you're going to get sick. Then you get sick, you get a cold or the flu or whatever, and then you're walloped. And then when you get better, you start taking care of yourself the way you're supposed to, and you go, if I just lived like this all the time, I wouldn't get sick in the first place. But it's much harder, it's easier said than done. And it's sort of the same thing with this kind of stuff, with financial stuff or emotional stuff. You just got to kind of, you put one foot in front of the other, you make a plan, you don't get too hung up on it, but you keep it's Andy Dufresne too. It's basically takes 19 years to tunnel out with a spoon. But when you get out, there's still freedom, there's still hope. There's still hope is a good thing. It's still out there and it's on the other side. But you can't be super rigid, demanding, because you're gonna be wrong all the time. It's not you, it's just the universe. That's what we are. We're humans. We're wrong most of the time, unless we repeat crap we've learned. And so we repeat learned behaviors, including not so beneficial ones. So sometimes we need to be broken off that path or off that cycle so that we can learn new, better, beneficial behaviors. For me, it took breaking a lot of eggs to make a different omelet. And I went from a very fancy omelet to now I just have some plain scrambled eggs. And it's peaceful, it's simpler. A little ketchup, some toast, I'm good to go. Making an omelet takes a lot more time, work, effort, money. And it's like that all piles into energy that I don't want to give to that anymore. It becomes negative energy, and I just want to deal in positive energy these days. So it's like, I don't know how I went from being like a poor suburban, a poor upper middle class suburban homeowner to a lower middle class, snowbirding, 2-home owning schnook, because it's a different level of ownership in homes, but it's perfectly suited for my life and what I need for the next 2 to 3 years. 2 to 3 years. I got a beautiful place for the summers. I got a beautiful place for the winters. I can garden up here. I can garden down there. I could, do the summer. It might not be warm enough for lots of swimming and stuff, but it's lots of boating and canoeing and kayaking and fishing and hiking and all that good stuff here. And, plenty, got the little town nearby, Oneana's got plenty of food and all that stuff. And down there, when it gets too hot, I'm not going to be there. And when it's in those other months, it's nothing but fishing and swimming, and I'll have I can meet a few people part of the year, maybe have somebody to play some poker or some cards with, go play some golf with, do something, jam, I don't know, smoke a little weed, whatever. Anything but dog walking. I don't want to do that. And so I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sitting here, it's 5 a.m, it's freezing. I need to do some eBay hustle work, but I'm excited. Before I was like, am I obsessing? And I am obsessing because the I's are not completely dotted and T's crossed. I'm waiting for word from the park that everything's okay with the application, this and that. So I probably shouldn't be saying anything. But I've already made a decision. If this one falls through, I'm just gonna buy another one. It may cost 10 grand more. Doesn't make a difference. They're out there, even in the same park, but not as renovated as this guy flipped this one. And also he did it for his dad, keeping in mind that he was going to have a wheelchair issue. So it's kind of, for such a small space, it's opened up very nicely. It's simple, but not like handicappy. So it's like, and he took the 2 bedrooms, made one big king bedroom. So there's a king bed with an armchair, and it's like one big bedroom. And then, you know what I mean? So he took a 2-bedroom, 1-bath thing and made it into like a 1-bed, 1-bath studio that's just more functional. And I'm like, it's perfect for me. It's perfect. And it's like, literally, he already supplied the pots and pans, dishes, all I see that it needs is like a water bottle thing and a coffee maker. And for all I know, he's probably got the coffee maker in the cabinet. I didn't even see it, but whatever. And just a really sweet person. That's more important to me. I want to deal with sweet, nice people. No hard, dealing with the park stinks. Already dealing with I got a landlord, but I got a landlord here. He's a nice guy, but when we deal business, it sucks. That's the way business can be sometimes. Money's money. But this guy, I really like it. I feel like I've already got a little family down there. I got somebody looking out for me. I'm looking out for him. And top it off with only a few seconds left in this video. What I'm paying for the place, he got 30 hits in one night from his Facebook posting and had 3 showings the next day. By some miracle, I called just to tell him without knowing, I just want to read it, remind you that I'm really into it. I want it. So we worked out the price then, and we handshook, and we did it. His wife actually made him hold out for a little more money because she said, "We're getting so much interest. Hold out." And he's like, "Yeah, but I don't want to show 1 million people if it's only going to be over 500." So we met in the middle. I told him no problem, and I'm very excited. And it's good to be excited for the future, to be happy about life, to be optimistic. That is a crazy, huge thing. Peace. Love you all. Have a great day. If no one told you they love you today, I do. Go check out my other videos. Share your story on YouTube, man. Put it out there. If you got no one to share with, share it, because people pick up on it. And, I'm not monetized. I don't get anything. This is just dollar therapy for me. I just like to spew. Anybody wants to listen, good luck, But been around a while. I've done a lot of things. I know a lot of stuff. Got to wear a lot of hats. And I don't bullshit. So there you go. And it's hard enough to find that in the world these days. Not bullshit. Peace out, everybody. Have a great day. Love you.